The briefing room was quiet, except for the hum of air conditioning and the faint rattle of flags against the wall. On the screen behind the instructors was the unmistakable silhouette of the AH-64 Apache, one of the most complex attack helicopters ever built. Around the table sat pilots, evaluators, and observers. Among them was a Filipino aviator, calm, attentive, taking notes. Someone at the back whispered, not realizing how far sound carries in a silent room. Flying this isn't for everyone, especially not someone trained outside our system. A few heads turned. The Filipino pilot kept writing. The Apache wasn't forgiving. Every switch mattered. Every decision was layered with consequence. Even experienced pilots failed qualification runs. The unspoken assumption in the room was simple. This would be another polite attempt that wouldn't go far. The instructor began explaining emergency scenarios. Engine failure at low altitude, weapon system faults, night navigation under stress. The Filipino pilot asked precise questions, not flashy, not defensive, just exact. The evaluation day arrived. The tarmac shimmered under heat. The Apache sat there like a predator at rest. As the Filipino pilot approached the aircraft, a few observers exchanged looks. One of them shook his head slightly. Inside the cockpit, everything narrowed. Muscle memory took over. Years of flying in unpredictable conditions, typhoons, mountain terrain, limited visibility, had trained him to stay calm when instruments screamed. The rotors spun up. Takeoff was clean. At first, the evaluators watched for mistakes, overcorrections, hesitation. Instead, what they saw was discipline, smooth transitions, anticipation instead of reaction. When a simulated systems failure was triggered, the Filipino pilot didn't rush. He compensated, stabilized, and adjusted the flight profile exactly as the manual demanded, then improved it. Someone leaned forward in their seat. During weapon simulation, his target acquisition was efficient. No wasted movement, no panic, just clarity. The Apache responded like an extension of his own hands. Midway through the run, an evaluator whispered, "He's flying ahead of the checklist." By the time the helicopter touched down, the silence was heavier than before. No applause, no cheers, just professionals recalibrating what they thought they knew. The lead evaluator finally spoke. "Run it again." The second flight was harder, more pressure, more unexpected variables. The Filipino pilot handled it better than the first. After shutdown, helmets came off. One of the instructors exhaled slowly and said what everyone else was thinking. "We were wrong." Word traveled fast, not in headlines at first, but in hangars, simulators, and briefing rooms. A Filipino pilot had not only qualified, he had excelled. Later, someone asked him how. He didn't talk about proving anyone wrong. He talked about flying where margins were thin, about learning to trust training when conditions weren't perfect, about humility in the air, because arrogance gets you killed. The United States Army didn't change its standards that day. It changed its assumptions. And the Filipino pilot walked away without celebration, knowing that sometimes the most powerful response to doubt isn't argument, it's performance.